it sounds like from a financial perspective, it definitely made sense. So if somebody wanted to get started in Airbnb rentals, how does somebody go about doing that? I know that there's a couple different models. One of them, you own the properties, and I've also heard about a model where you lease out the property. The landlord or the owner of the property knows that it's an Airbnb rental, and maybe he charges a little bit more rent, but he allows you to manage that and make some money yourself as well too. Are you more in favor of one of those strategies or both, or have you tried one or the other, or what's your opinion on that?
Okay, so the second one that you're referring to, we in the industry refer to as rental arbitrage. Mm-hmm. So I have both, but I will say this: I'm not a fan of rental arbitrage.
Okay.
It's a good way. I mean, it's good to add to your portfolio, but I see too many people and I see too many quote unquote gurus preach rental arbitrage all the time, and there's big holes in it, big holes, and there's a lot of risk in rental arbitrage. So I don't fully recommend it for someone to do just that. Right? You should do both, but if you're looking to build wealth, not just an income, looking to build wealth, you need to own the property, right? We can touch that if you want, but to discuss both, I recommend you do both. Now, if you want to start in the business and you don't have a lot of cash, rental arbitrage is the way to go, because obviously you're not buying the property, the entry point is less, and you can still make some money, especially if you're very good at negotiating your leases. If you're good at negotiating leases, you can initially really do it for a very minimal cost, which is just the setup cost. So I'll give you an example of that. Okay. So I did a rental arbitrage in a building, an apartment, where I negotiated the first 2 months of the lease free.
Wow.
Which gave me 2 months to buy the furniture, prep it, get it up and running. And a month of that time, it gave me the opportunity to start building income. Because the beauty about Airbnb is you get paid when a guest checks in. 2 days later, you get paid.
Wow.
So
it's
you're
not at the end of the month or anything like that.
You're not waiting to the end of the month to get a check. No, you get paid 3 days, 2 to 3 days after the guest checks in. Your money's there. So that's good. You can start making money right off the bat, right? So in that case, I negotiated the 2 months free. I negotiated a 3-year lease, and that's why I got the 2 months free in the beginning. And I negotiated an out clause. So I had an out clause that after the first year, I had the choice whether to stay on the property or complete the next 2 years. So again, if you're good at negotiating, it's really a good way to start, because the entry point is low. You can get some cash flow coming in, and then you can start building on your next property. But I'm a big fan of starting off with a property, and we can touch this on later. But one of the easiest way besides rental arbitrage is just to house hack using Airbnb. Buy a property with FHA, only 3% down or 3.5% down. So it's low entry point, and then just rent out the rooms. That'll pay you. Plus, it might most likely, if you do it right, you live for free. And there's your first
so
thing.
With Airbnb, you don't necessarily have to rent out the entire house to one person. You could actually rent out like a bedroom or 2 bedrooms or even 3 bedrooms separately, and that could be like the own unit as well too.
Yeah, here's the beauty about Airbnb. Unlike, we can go into the different platforms, but Airbnb is the most flexible. So on Airbnb, you can literally put anything with a bed. You can put on Airbnb. So like I personally have friends that have tree houses on Airbnb.
Wow.
It's insane. Tree houses. I've seen they're like tents, but they're more stable than a tent on Airbnb. Wow. I've seen mobile trailers, wheels. I see all of that's it's on Airbnb. You can do anything that has a bed. You can put it on Airbnb. So that's a good thing about Airbnb.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So eventually, if I understood correctly, the goal is to, if you don't have a lot of capital, maybe start off with the rental arbitrage, get some cash flow, get some income. But the faster you can get to the owner perspective, the better off you're going to be.